West Virginia basketball has a rich history, and Coach Hodge is stepping into it. I'm Corn Roby, and coming up on Mountaineer Playbook, I'll show you how he's embracing the program's legacy.
I'm Charlie Steensma, and straight ahead on Mountaineer Playbook, I'll be breaking down the legacy of the Mountaineer mascot, as well as showing you who will be shouldering the musket next.
WVU men's basketball team is looking to rebuild a winning culture right here in Morgantown. I'm Connor Durkin, and I'll tell you about two freshmen that can help lead the way next season. Mountaineer Playbook starts right now.
For the second straight year, the NCAA Rifle National Championship belongs to WVU. I'm Bryce Cohen.
And I'm Corey Moore. Following its Big 12 tournament title, the women's basketball team brought March Madness to Morgantown.
These stories and more coming up on Mountaineer Playbook, an Emmy-award-winning sports magazine show produced by sports and adventure media students right here at West Virginia University.
Bryce, for more than 4 decades, WVU Rifle has dominated the sport.
As of this month, Corey, the Mountaineers now have 21 national titles. Last year, WVU came back from a 5-point deficit to claim the trophy. This year, it was a similar comeback. John Hammond's team entered the final day of competition in 4th place and trailed by 3 points. After an NCAA record 2,395 air rifle score, WVU solidified the 7-point comeback win, claiming back-to-back national championships for the first time since 2017.
So it really took a incredible performance on that second day for us to win. So lots of things to go right, but just really satisfying having that type of performance at NCAAs.
Hammond now has 8 national titles in 20 seasons at the helm. Junior Griffin Lake finished in 3rd place in small bore and became the 5th Mountaineer to be named the NCAA National Championship's most outstanding performer.
Fresh off its second Big 12 title in program history, WVU women's basketball earned hosting duties for the 1st and 2nd rounds of the NCAA tournament. For senior guard Sydney Shaw, it was another opportunity to prove just how valuable she is to this team. Sydney Shaw never fails to applaud her teammates. Having started 25 games as a freshman at Auburn, Shaw says being surrounded by skilled teammates at WVU creates comfort to elevate her performance. But for the second straight year, Shaw was excluded from Big 12 awards.
I think I felt very disrespected when I heard the list, and it just made me check myself and realize that I got to go out and show people.
41 points across 3 games earned Shaw an all Big 12 tournament team selection. But regardless of individual recognition, Shaw is always invaluable to her Mountaineers. Shaw plays the most minutes of any Mountaineer, averaging 31.8 per game. She also shoots the most often and most efficiently from distance, making 41.6% of her 209 attempts on the season. For head coach Mark Kellogg, Shaw's impact goes beyond her play on the court.
Shaw's really good for me because I think we balance each other out. She can bring out the fun and the character and mess with me and bring that out in me.
Lifting energy is Shaw's specialty in WVU's best performances, such as the record-breaking 118-point senior day. As always, Shaw credited her teammates for the ease of play.
I felt like our chemistry was just at an all-time high tonight. I felt like I knew exactly what she wanted or where she wanted the ball, and she knew where I wanted the ball, and playing like that, it's just fun.
Shaw set 2 career highs on senior day with 24 points and 6 made threes, showing that what she provides West Virginia is just as significant as what she gains.
While the men's basketball team missed out on the NCAA tournament, they will still play in the postseason at the College Basketball Crown next month.
With nearly half of the roster wrapping up their final season in Morgantown, it provides an opportunity for young players to get valuable experience.
Our men's basketball reporter Connor Durkin joins us live in studio with the story. Connor?
Thanks, Bryce. Corey? Basketball rosters change fast. The Mountaineers have averaged fewer than 2 returning players each season since 2023, and that consistent turnover rate has made it difficult to develop players long-term. But 2 freshmen, Amir Jenkins and DJ Thomas, are looking to change that.
On senior night, Coach Hodge and the fans said goodbye to their starting 5. However, for 2 freshmen, DJ Thomas and Amir Jenkins, their careers are just getting started.
I think when they decided to come here, that was part of the attraction. They knew that they wouldn't just be representing a basketball program or a university, that you actually represent a state.
For Jenkins, he now has some big shoes to fill. He will be tasked with replacing Jasper Floyd at point guard next season.
With Floyd's last season of eligibility, Coach Hodge had to hit the high school ranks to find his replacement. Amir Jenkins left Worcester Academy early at just 17 years old to come to WVU and learn under Floyd. He now has a full season of experience under his belt and is ready for next season to step into a much bigger role.
While both players saw their time on the court this season, they still have a lot to learn.
Coach, oh, my bad. Coach says it all the time in practice, like, I put the work in, like, I got to be confident and let my work show. So, I mean, those moments are just a testament to the work I put in, the confidence that the coaches put into me.
The freshmen are taking what they learned from this year's veterans and hoping to carry on the momentum to next season.
Jenkins and Thomas are the only bench players who appeared in every game this season. The duo also averaged the most minutes outside of the 6 seniors, at 16 per game.
Thanks, Connor. The Mountaineers have also seen their fair share of turnover when it comes to the leader of the program, Bryce.
After seeing 4 head coaches in as many years, the newest is finding stability by embracing the traditions and legends that came before him.
Our Coach's Corner reporter, Quinn Roby, joins us live in the studio with a closer look at how Hodge is dedicating himself to the legacy. Quinn?
Thanks, Corey. Bryce, it's Hodge's defensive approach that aligns with the story identity of the men's basketball program. In his debut season, WVU finished as the 2nd best defense in the Big 12 Conference, proving the foundation of years past can help shape the next chapter. For decades, West Virginia basketball has built a tradition shaped by legendary players, passionate fans, and a rich history. In March of 2025, Ross Hodge stepped into that legacy.
West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home, country roads, man.
Just a year in, Hodge says he already sees himself as a caretaker of the men's basketball program. If you turn on old film of Mountaineer legends like Jerry West and Hot Rod Hundley, it shows just how deep the tradition runs. This season, Ross Hodge and the Mountaineers debuted new uniforms that honors the past while turning the page to the next chapter. Part of that tradition is the atmosphere inside the Hope Coliseum, something that's long made it difficult for visiting teams, especially this season, where the Mountaineers posted a 2-1 record against teams in the top 25.
Yeah, I think it speaks more to how special of an environment, Hope Coliseum can be, and how difficult of a place this is to play.
More than just wins and losses, Hodge is building a culture on both ends of the floor. WestVirginiaSports.com writer Nick Castrilli says that it's the atmosphere that fuels the defense.
He's get the crowds behind him. The Coliseum gets rocking all the time, and with a team like the defensive mindset that he brings, the fans embrace that.
From the Coliseum to the national stage, Hodge's leadership is turning tradition into results. 5 quad 1 wins this season show the Mountaineers are making their mark. After bowing out of the Big 12 tournament early, Hodge brings an 18-14 overall record into the postseason. He led the Mountaineers to a 9-9 finish in Big 12 action, just the 2nd non-losing mark in league play in the last 5 seasons.
Thanks, Quinn. There's one WVU tradition that goes beyond athletics, the Mountaineer. The mascot appears at more than just sporting events, Corey. It's a part of the West Virginia community.
Bryce, Cade Kincaid spent the last year as the university's 71st mascot, but now it's time for a new name to take on the responsibility that comes with the coveted position.
Donning the buckskins for the 2025-26 academic year was not only special on game days for Cade Kincaid. The Fayetteville native grew up connected to the university with both parents and his sister graduating from WVU.
It was just kind of ingrained in me, so the fact that the thing that I grew up loving so much became a part of my life, and then outside of what most people get to experience, I got an even bigger part of it. It was just so cool.
From firing the musket at games to visiting schools and participating in blood drives, Kincaid learned that this role carries rich tradition.
Kincaid made over 450 appearances during his tenure, but now wearing the coonskin hat, it'll be fellow West Virginian Reese Allen, who is also pursuing a very rigorous degree in mechanical engineering and data science.
4 finalists competed in a cheer-off at Hope Coliseum in early February. Then, 10 days later, Allen was announced as the next mascot. As a Bridgeport native and lifelong WVU fan, he fully understands the responsibility that comes with representing the state.
Of the 450 events the Mountaineer does in a year, the vast majority of them is interpersonal, and I got to talk to people. It's a benefit of the mascot. Rather than being behind a fursuit and they can't really see my face, I can make eye contact, I can connect, and I can just share their stories and share mine.
Even though the musket is switching hands, the symbol remains the same. The Mountaineer will always be more than just a mascot. For Mountaineer Playbook, I'm Charlie Steensma.
Coming up on Mountaineer Playbook, one WVU freshman has made history on the club hockey team.
Plus, a look into the newly upgraded facilities at Kendrick Family Ballpark. These stories and more after the break.
Weston Macy's baseball career nearly ended before it even started. I'm Chelsea Mariani, and straight ahead on Mountaineer Playbook, I'll show you how his journey is growing conversation around brain injuries and athlete safety.
Mountaineer Playbook brings you the action and adventure of West Virginia sports like no one else. From epic climbs to thrilling touchdowns, we capture it all, right from the heart of West Virginia University.
Yeah, this is tight. Rachel.
An Emmy-nominated show produced by students in the Reed School of Journalism and Communications, covering what moves you. Catch us on YouTube, on the web, and on the Reed School of Media's website.
Jonathan, Rachel, back to you.
Stay inspired. Stay adventurous. Watch Mountaineer Playbook.
Ready, camera 2, 10 seconds.
Welcome back to Mountaineer Playbook. Most freshmen spend their first year adjusting to the college game, Corey, but one WVU hockey player ended his debut season on the national stage.
That's right, Bryce. Camden Briggs' rapid rise through the club hockey ranks proves he isn't a typical freshman. Our club sports reporter TJ Corcoran has the story.
Camden Briggs began the 2025-26 season on the Division II WVU hockey team. Halfway through the schedule, he got called up to the Division I team after injuries plagued their defensive core.
At first, pretty scared. I was going to be probably the youngest kid on the team. Everyone else, all 21 freshmen. I'm being 18, but they just tucked me in and just taught me through the way. They were always out there looking out for me and just teaching me how to go through it. But now it's just, I'm here with the boys. It's all comfortable. It's just great to be here.
Even though WVU has 4 men's programs, it isn't common for a player from a lower division to get promoted during a season. At 18 years old, Briggs finds himself in a unique situation.
Most players in Division I of the ACHA play junior hockey before attending college, making the average age of a freshman on the team over 20 years old. For true freshman Camden Briggs, that made his new role on his new team that much more of an adjustment.
Briggs saw significant ice time during all 3 CHMA playoff games, including the championship win. Before the team left for nationals, players across all 4 divisions came together for a scrimmage, proving just how valuable development is within the entire WVU hockey organization.
I look at this nationals, run here from, it's not just D1, it's a program standpoint. Everybody has a hand in it. And it's just been wonderful just to, kind of look back on this season and what these other teams and what we've been able to do to help one another.
In the transfer portal era, the average age of college athletes continues to increase. Briggs is proof that young talent can still have a lasting impact. For Mountaineer Playbook, I'm TJ Corcoran.
The WVU baseball program opened its state-of-the-art practice facility in March of 2025, following a generous donation from former Mountaineer Ken Kendrick. With access to full-time specialists and cutting-edge technology, the team has taken their training to the next level. The WVU Biomechanics and Performance Center was built and opened a year after Kendrick's donation. The 8,200 square foot facility cost $4 million to build and hosts an in-house biomechanist that helps develop the team.
Pretty much I'd go through all the biomechanics for the athletes, strengths, weaknesses, and then talk to the coaches about what they should work on, and then they develop a plan from there.
Utilizing programs like TrackMan and Swing Catalyst, players can work on mechanics at all hours of the day. The state-of-the-art facility is located behind center field at Kendrick Family Ballpark. Equipped with tools like motion capture systems as well as advanced data analysis, it's comparable to MLB facilities. So much so that big leaguers like Cy Young winner Paul Skeens as well as former Mountaineer J.J. Weatherholt have used it in their training. Beyond its top-notch technology, it provides a designated indoor space to train during the winter.
We've never had covered cages during the winter, and so you can hit at night, you can hit before you go to the IPF, guys can come from class.
Through donor investment, the dividends are paid out in team and coaching culture.
The fact that Sabins knows what like the next frontier is in player development and wants to invest in that and wants to have that is pretty incredible.
On the heels of back-to-back super regional appearances, and in Saban's second year at the helm, they'll continue to train towards a College World Series.
For WVU freshman Weston Mazie, baseball is more than just a sport. It's a way of life.
He grew up on the diamond, as his father, Randy Mazie, was the program's head coach until he retired in 2024.
But 5 years ago, Bryce, an accident on the field left the Mazie family wondering if Weston would ever play the game again.
Our health reporter Chelsea Mariani joins us live in the studio with the story. Chelsea?
Thanks, Bryce. Corey, in 2021, Mazie suffered a traumatic brain injury at 14 years old, a moment that changed his life forever. His road to recovery wasn't easy, but he never gave up hope of returning to the field. Now, he's proving every setback can have an even greater comeback. At Kendrick Family Ballpark, Weston Mazie is doing what he loves most, playing baseball. But just 5 years ago, that future was far from certain. While catching a fly ball, Mazie collided with another player, suffering fractures in his face and skull and a traumatic brain injury. Doctors weren't sure he would walk again.
And I just remember standing there looking at him going, this can't be how his story ends. Like, this can't be it. And you just don't know in that moment.
For Mazie and his family, recovery was measured by every step forward, no matter how small. After years of rehab and determination, he worked his way back to the diamond. The CDC estimates up to 3.8 million traumatic brain injuries happen each year, and at least 10% of them are connected to sports and recreational activities. For Weston Mazie, that statistic became a reality, and part of why his return to baseball means so much. For his father, Randy Mazie, it was a reminder that even the game he loves so much carries real risks.
I mean, you're playing on a field that's enclosed by a padded wall, so you'd think you're safe. But you just got to take every measure you can to try and protect kids.
Today, Mazie takes extra precautions when he steps onto the field. Under his helmet, he wears a protective cap made by Second Skull, designed to reduce head impacts by up to 53%. The road back wasn't easy, but Mazie never lost sight of the goal of returning to baseball.
It means so much, 'cause that was like my whole goal, like during rehab, was like get back on the field, because it was just like I want to play the game I love.
For Weston Mazie, every swing now carries a different perspective. One built on resilience, recovery, and a second chance at the game he loves. Weston, also known as Whammer, spent 72 days in hospitals and rehab facilities recovering from his TBI. That experience led to the Mazie family creating Team Whammer, a fundraising effort that helps provide emotional and financial assistance to families dealing with traumatic injuries.
Thanks, Chelsea. The West Virginia women's soccer team is using the game they love to raise funds for life-saving research.
They hosted their annual breast cancer 4v4 tournament earlier this month, bringing the community together for a great cause. There were more than 70 teams at this year's event, with each player competing alongside a Mountaineer athlete. Over the 2 decades that the program hosted the tournament, it's brought in more than $200,000 for breast cancer research. But organizers say the impact goes far beyond the money raised.
It's funny because we do this to try to give back, but really we receive quite a bit too. You know, I think we lead the day with a full heart and a profound sense of impact.
This year, the tournament brought in more than $13,000 for the Betty Pushkar Cancer Center.
Coming up on Mountaineer Playbook, a look at how WVU students are helping NASA get back to the moon.
This story after the break.
Humans haven't seen the lunar surface in person since 1972. I'm Andrew Hartlove, and after the break on Mountaineer Playbook, I'll show you how WVU students are behind astronauts, sending them from the Earth to the moon and beyond.
Hi, we're WVU. You probably know us for screaming. And yeah, we're pretty good at it. But here, it's more than a chant. It's our celebration of innovation.
Let's go.
Our rallying cry for community.
Let's go!
And honestly, it's just our way of life. So whether you're chasing big dreams or just chasing sunsets,
let's go!
Welcome back to Mountaineer Playbook. While most students are keeping their feet on the ground, one group at West Virginia University is looking towards space for its next discovery.
Our adventure reporter Andrew Hartlove joins us from Studio B at the Media Innovation Center to tell us how WVU's Microgravity Club is giving students hands-on experience with space research. Andrew?
Thanks, Bryce. Corey. In 1961, NASA launched the Apollo program that put 12 astronauts on the moon. But since 1972, no human has gone back. Now, more than 50 years later, NASA hopes to make a return as early as 2028. The Artemis program is even calling on student engineers here at WVU to help develop the technology to make it happen.
Yeah, I noticed the NASA mentor called us out.
Members of the Microgravity Research Club are helping design tools that could support future missions led by NASA. The club will compete in the 2026 Micro-G Next competition in June, where college teams design solutions to real engineering challenges astronauts face in space. Club President Reese Allen says the mission students work on reflects NASA's current priorities.
So the kind of missions that we get pitched has very much to do with what their plans are in the next few years. That being the Artemis missions, where we think about going to the moon, and then things that are current problems, like issues on board the ISS, or maybe even Martian missions if we're thinking about Mars trips down the future.
The club is currently working on an adjustable tool cart handle to be used on the lunar surface.
Students will spend months testing and developing their designs before sending them to NASA's Neutral Buoyancy Laboratory in Houston, Texas.
The pool at the NBL holds about 6.2 million gallons of water, which allows divers to simulate conditions astronauts will endure in space, while students guide the tests from a control room.
It's really exciting, really cool. You sit there with the mic and you're nervous and you don't want to mess up any commands because it could be the end of your test if they break it on accident.
If successful, the students' designs could help support the next generation of astronauts as NASA prepares for future missions to the moon.
The team will travel to NASA's NBL in Houston this summer to test their design in conditions that will simulate space. It's an opportunity that could put WVU students one step closer to helping shape the future of human space exploration. Corey, Bryce, back to you at the Waterfront Studio.
Thanks, Andrew. That's going to do it for this week's edition of Mountaineer Playbook, an Emmy-award-winning sports magazine show where we dive into inspiring stories of coaches, players, and passionate fans who make the sports world truly remarkable. I'm Corey Moore.
And I'm Bryce Cohen. Be sure to like and follow us on Facebook at Mountaineer Playbook. You could also stream our shows on HD Media's websites and watch our broadcasts on Sundays at 6:30 p.m. on West Virginia Public Broadcasting.
Thank you for joining us here on Mountaineer Playbook.